Hey, welcome to Business and Banter. This is a show about talking about business, local businesses, organizations, and we got Cody with Sirincci Coffee. They're located in Slidell, and glad to have you on the show.
Thanks, guys.
So I guess the first question is, how'd you get started in the coffee business?
So it's always something I kind of wanted to do. Originally thought about doing like a Airbnb with like a bed and breakfast type deal, but settled on just doing coffee. We started with a coffee cart, and then went to a truck, and then now we have a couple stores. Just always liked coffee, hanging out in coffee shops. Used to hang out with my friends. Just thought, man, I could do this.
Yeah. What's your background in coffee? Did you ever work at Starbucks or anything like that?
I did. So I had a full-time job, and on the nights and weekends for probably like 6 months or so, I did a stint at Starbucks to kind of learn some of the business, see if it was something I would like doing,
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Here in Slidell, I was on Front Street at the Starbucks.
Oh man, so you probably served me coffee at one point in time.
Probably did.
So about how long ago was that?
About 6 years ago, I think.
Oh, okay.
Did that. Yeah.
So was that the point where you left and then did Sirincci, or let me back up a little bit more. Before you did that, was that when you were involved in doing working for an electric company?
I did. So I was an industrial electrician, ended up doing proposals for that company. I was there for about 12 years. Okay. And yeah, when I started at Starbucks, I was still working for them, and then doing that on nights and weekends. And ended up getting laid off from that company and decided coffee was kind of a long-term goal, something I wanted to do. But then when I got laid off, I was like, well, I guess I'll do it now. So I started doing that. I ended up working for a buddy while I was starting the coffee business, doing IT work, little project management type stuff.
Yeah. So in the beginning, when you were doing the carts and you had the trailer, what was it like? Trying to find help.
So in the beginning, it was basically just my friends.
Yeah.
And it was just gig work, so maybe once a week or twice a week, or maybe not like once a month. These random, whenever stuff came up, So it was just like, hey, you want to help me? And I would get some people from, friends from church, stuff like that would help me out.
When you had the carts, where were you going? Like, what were you?
So originally we would do like Bella Style Salon had us a lot. We'd go inside there.
So you'd go to these establishments and just set up.
We'd go inside, yeah. And then we did a lot of movie sets, production sets, like in New Orleans. Ended up with like Old School Eats had a contact there, and like our first month in business, they hooked us up, and we just started. We'd go out in the middle of a field or in downtown New Orleans or wherever they were shooting, and do movie sets at midnight or whenever their lunch break was.
That's a good hookup.
So that was good for a while. That's since the writer's strike that stopped, but they're starting back up now. So hopefully that did keep the truck pretty busy. I was doing the movie production sets and stuff.
So what was it like whenever you were ready to move into your building? What was that process like?
I really I duplicated the truck, like as far as like the equipment and all that, the drinks, everything's the same. The truck does a full coffee shop type setup. Just made the space a little bit bigger. I actually met with a buddy that used to work for Chick-fil-A, and he said, if you can do 100 drinks an hour out of a truck, why would you change your setup? Like, just do the same thing in a shop. So, okay. So basically, because originally I'd planned on like making a real big, like pretty bar, kind of like Front Street, which is
yeah, it's nice.
But basically, Robert's just like the truck, and it works.
What was the kind of transition to doing that, to getting into the building on Robert Street?
Yeah, basically having to hire like people to work regular hours instead of just when I need them. So we went from 1099 to like, okay, I need you, W-2, I need you to be here from 8 to 5 or whatever. So that was a little different. But a lot of those people that had worked with me on the truck ended up being my first employees too, the ones that could. And then the building was just random. It was a friend, Brittany Bell, who mom ended up buying that building. And she was like, she used to come to the truck and stuff. She's like, hey, I got this cool spot. You want to do a coffee shop? And like, I wasn't really planning on doing it that soon. And I was like, yeah, why not? So we just did it.
You just jumped in.
Just jumped in. Yeah.
Nice.
Took the risk.
So what did it look like in the beginning trying to get, build your customer base?
So when we opened the shop, we already had a good customer base. So like, I guess from day one, we we were busy.
Yeah, I noticed like as soon as you announced the shop on Facebook, like your page blew up.
Yeah.
The community was liking your page. You had like over 5,000 likes.
Yeah. It was wild. Yeah. So we really just opened up and we were busy. So we didn't really, I guess the truck and like the relationships we had formed with all the local businesses doing like gigs and stuff and the customers we already had. So that was unique, I guess.
Yeah.
Most businesses don't open up and then there's customers.
Yeah, you already had a pretty good fan base.
Yeah.
Before you even got into a brick and mortar.
Yeah. So since then, it's been more like, how do I keep these customers and like get new customers, especially with like other local shops opening up in town. Like we used to be the only game other than like PJ's and Starbucks.
Right.
So that's been an interesting twist, is to try to like figure out how to navigate competition.
Yeah. Tell us more about that, marketing your company, trying to get new customers coming in.
So we really just use social media, I guess. We use Facebook a lot and Instagram. We started using TikTok. So, but originally I did it myself the first few years.
Yeah. So were you doing
Just
like
winging
TikTok dances or
No.
trends?
No, I did Facebook and Instagram. I didn't. No.
Yeah, that was probably before TikTok really took
Yeah,
off.
I don't like the camera.
Yeah.
I hear you.
Yeah.
You're always trying to keep more engagement with your customers. Is that like pertaining to like more new flavors, new
Yeah, I have noticed people do like the seasonal flavors. So like originally I wanted to be like, they call it like third wave coffee, where it's like all about the coffee and you get like a little espresso and it's like, oh, we just have good coffee and like maybe one syrup. But I don't know, I found this market, like that's not really what they want. So we do have really good coffee, local source coffee, like single origin stuff, fair trade, all that. But we have a bunch of flavors. We have like all the syrups.
Yeah, I know. I had your Mardi Gras one. That
Yeah.
had as a frappuccino.
The king cake.
Yeah, I like frappuccinos. So
Yeah.
I did that, and then I did the Valentine's Day one.
Yeah, that red velvet was fire.
That was good.
Yeah.
That
I
was
do
really
like the king cake too. That is a secret sauce there.
Yeah.
The king cake. Yeah.
Do you have your own blend of coffee though? Is like your own beans that you?
So we get them from Orleans Coffee, which is in Kenner. They've been around for 40 years, roaster. They roast to order. So if I order on Thursday, I can go get it on Friday or Monday.
Oh, that's cool.
So it's all fresh. Right now we're on like a 2-week cycle. So it's all within 2 weeks fresh, We do have rights to our espresso, like in the North Shore area and Mississippi coast. I think there is one shop in New Orleans that uses the same espresso, which I don't know which one it is. He won't tell me, but I did get him to lock down that for us so that, because it would be too easy to duplicate a coffee shop if they could use the same espresso and the same syrups that everybody else can get. Try to hold that niche a little bit.
Yeah,
It's interesting.
You got to hold on to your secrets for sure.
Yeah.
So you mentioned a little while ago about the fair trade coffee. Like how much of your coffee is like fair trade, organic?
I think most. So like our espresso is, our cold brew, I'm pretty sure our cold brew is, the Ethiopia that we brew on drip every day is fair trade, organic.
Can you kind of tell
most of it is.
Can you tell the listeners what fair trade coffee is? No,
Not really.
Okay, I know a little bit. I know a little bit about it.
I know it's like ethical and
it's
stuff like
ethical,
that,
right?
Wait, are you saying you don't know?
I mean,
you're not allowed to.
I mean,
you.
I know, but not enough to be like, hey, this is what fair trade is. Let me give you a presentation.
He's not a representative of the fair trade organization,
Right.
But they pay the farmers a living wage or a better wage.
Right.
They get a higher pay per hour.
Okay.
So that's what makes it fair. A lot of times the producers or the farmers, they own part of the business too. So it's all about, making sure the farmers get their fair cut. And most of the time it is organic as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because I don't nothing.
That was a way better answer than I would have gave.
Yeah.
It is a little bit more expensive too because of the wage, but yeah.
Yeah, but it's worth it. It's usually really good.
Yeah. I find it's better.
For you, what do you think makes you like different than other Joe Schmoes around?
We use like semi-automatic like espresso machines. So like we're still grinding in a grinder and tamping by hand and pulling the shots. We dial in our shots. So it's not like a fully automatic type setup like some of the commercial places where you just like press a button and I think some even have like where the steam milk comes out of a machine or whatever. So we're still steaming the milk by hand. And
what do you mean by dialing it in?
Like when you pull a shot, like you want it to be a certain number of ounces, pulled for a certain amount of time, coming from certain like grams of beans, which I don't want to tell you how many grams we use.
Okay,
That's fine.
Trade secret, all right.
Because it is not, it's not exactly what they recommend.
Yeah.
We use slightly more than what you're supposed to because I like a good strong shot, but which is probably why our caffeine's higher.
Well, that explains why your coffee's so much better than Starbucks.
Yeah.
Well, I always heard when you were blowing up, everyone kept telling everyone about the milk you use.
Okay.
Is the oat milk.
Oh,
Everyone's
the
always
oat
talking about the oat milk.
Yeah.
They use oat milk. Or oat milk.
Yeah. So originally we were using Oatly, which is like a premium like oat milk brand. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We since switched because they just kept like because all the shops started using it, so they just kept jacking the price up. And it just
Look what you did. No,
I would have to charge. I'd probably have to charge like $1.50 or something added to a drink just to cover the cost. So we switched to Silk, which is still good. Yeah. We actually lined up like 10 different oat milks and like did like a blind taste test in the shop, and like nobody could really tell the difference. So I didn't figure it mattered that much.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, do all the coffees have oat milk in it, or is that
No,
just something you
just
have
a few
to?
percent.
So, when they ask me if I want whole milk, I'm getting like real whole cow milk.
Yeah.
All right.
Which is our standard drink comes with milk, just regular milk. And
Is that like a locally sourced milk, or is there? That's just some regular.
No.
All right.
No. Good try though. It's fair trade organic from Walmart.
So going from one store to making a new one, how was that transition? Because I know the building you're in on Front Street is like
2 times bigger.
way bigger, historical building, right? Historical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So our square footage there is about the same as the other shop as far as like what I lease. But it was a big transition going from managing like one inventory, one set of hours, one set of employees. We do share employees between both shops, so that helps.
That makes sense.
But yeah, I had to get somebody to like kind of take over inventory, and then I have somebody that took over scheduling. And these are just employees that like do a little extra on the side or like while they're working or whatever. So that helps. And then we do have like the carts at Paradigm, the hospital. So we have a full-time person there 40 hours a week. So that one's easy to schedule.
And what is that? Like somebody you got to set up in the hospital?
In the hospital, yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Kind of like under the stairs, like Harry Potter,
Yeah.
Serving coffee.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. This is like I would call it like a kiosk, but it's basically just 2 carts.
Uh-huh.
Kind of like we originally had. So we're doing that. And then the truck is just gig work. So that's random. We just post it and whoever wants to work it works it.
Do you do local festivals?
We do. Yeah. We're doing, I think it's Food Truck Fest this Saturday. We got that one coming up.
Yeah, I'll be there. I'll be filming.
Yeah. And then next weekend there's a 3-day festival we do. It's spring and fall in a meet. It's like a vintage market, handmade, antique type thing. We do that. Been doing that for like 5 years now, I guess.
Oh,
Yeah.
Are you doing the crawfish cook-off, right?
Yeah, we normally do that
Yeah.
with the hospice house.
Mm-hmm.
Do that one. That's always a good turnout.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Yeah, we try to do all the bigger local ones. I used to do everything. I just can't make all the stuff anymore.
I see it all sorts of things, and yeah, you.
Are those events usually pretty profitable?
It's hit or miss. Yeah, some of the smaller events, like we never did make money on them. Really, it was more of a kind of like a marketing thing, just to be there and
Exposure.
be friendly. Yeah, show people what good coffee is, I guess.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, that's kind of have you approached some of the different festivals? You're out there with your camera and you got your shirt on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, getting that exposure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one thing I always try to do when I first started was I was going to everything. I want to let people know that I'm not just some, DSLRs, they're usually a photography camera. They think you're taking pictures.
Right.
And I was like, no, I would have my rig and I had my matte box on. I know like I'm filming and I'd offer, a lot of promotional videos to give them exposure. So
it is good exposure to do those types of things. I still like doing them. Like if I'm free, I'll do them or set up a table or whatever. But it's just harder to make them all.
Yeah. And then you got to pick and choose. Like, okay, I'm not doing that one again.
Yeah.
I'm in the hole. Like
I've said that before too. And then they'll ask me the next year and I'm like, all right. They're just like, they're so nice. You're like, okay. It's fine. Just write it off.
Yeah. You got to keep those relationships.
Yeah. I mean, that's what it's about, especially in a small town like this.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Just having good relationships with other business owners and the customers too. Like we see the same customers. I've been seeing them now for 4 or 5 years, some of them, and so that's been nice. It's good to see.
Yeah, I can't really go out and do the same thing with websites. Like, hey, everybody, watch me build a website.
Yeah,
No.
Yeah,
that's a different.
it is really tough for you.
Yeah, I don't really get a lot of exposure other than what I do on Facebook and social media.
Then I've seen you at some of the networking events and stuff too, which that's got to help.
Yep. Forging relationships, making sure we stay top of mind. Yeah. Making sure everyone knows that we actually get results instead of just building websites that look pretty.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it's about. I mean, you're running a business to make money, not to
hopefully, yeah, you got to eat.
Hey, you got to feed your family. You got to pay your bills.
Yeah. I'm going from 1 kid to 3.
Oh,
really?
right.
Yeah. Got engaged recently, so she's
Congrats,
got 2 kids.
man.
So I have to sell a little bit more coffee.
Your family is growing.
I know. A 12-year-old and a 5-year-old she has. Or I guess I have now. So
Yeah.
I have to sell it. I might have to open 2 more shops or something. I don't know.
We have. What's the any new plans for something like that or?
Yeah, so we're looking at either Picayune or Pearl River. I want to do. We did just open one in Covington inside of a church. It's just been open on Sundays for like the last 3 months, but we're looking at maybe opening during the week. But as far as a new shop, I think Picayune maybe.
Yeah. So how do you scout those locations? What's the criteria?
I don't have any like set way to do it. Is there a shop already there that's doing well? Then maybe I don't want to be there or close to them, Like Pearl River doesn't really have anything. So that might be a good spot. But then I think like, okay, that's kind of close to Robert. And, when I opened Front Street, I kind of saw that like they pulled customers from Robert because it was kind of close. Mm-hmm. So like maybe I don't want to do that again. And then we tried Hammond, but it was too far for me. And then the sales just weren't there for us. So learned a lesson there, So yeah, I don't.
A little shop in Pearl River might not be a bad idea. I mean, there's a high school there.
Yeah.
They got the rec center, which my kids go to, and like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of kids with parents. And if you do it somewhere near there, they might grab coffee on the way there and back.
Yeah, I think having a drive-through.
River.
Yeah. Kids going to and from school, having that drive-through coffee shop would be beneficial, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the drive-throughs really helped at Front Street. So I'm looking at kind of like making that legit, getting like a speaker and a screen and all that. So it's a little more streamlined. Right now it's just you pull to the window, you order, and you have to sit there and wait. So it's not the best, like especially if somebody in front of you orders 5 drinks and then you're stuck behind that curb, and I'm like, oh man, I feel terrible for these guys.
Yeah.
So yeah, I want to get like a better system for that to where we can actually move drinks through faster. We try to get them out in under a minute, but if somebody in front of you orders 5 and then you're stuck. But,
right. And it's busy inside too.
Yeah.
So
trying to figure that out. And then we're trying to ramp up the trailer since the movie stuff has kind of been slow. We're trying to figure out ways to use the trailer more. So I'm looking at some places to park it during the week that are like not over here. Maybe got 1 or 2 options on Military. I might try to do that a few mornings a week, get that going. Because right now it's just sitting there. It's like if it's not open, it's just sitting there not making money,
Yeah.
And it's basically a full shop on wheels. So I need to. Of course, that might be a way to test out Picayune. Go park it. Go park it in Picayune.
Yeah, man.
Might be a good idea.
I'm telling you, I'm telling you that rec center. If there's a way, I don't know how you get on these things. I don't know if you just park or you need a permit or what, but I'm talking about, I think there's like 750 kids out of this thing.
That might be a good spot.
And parents are just getting off of work. They're just dropping their kids off. And if you're set up right there, oh man.
I might check it out.
Yeah. Rec 7.
You said that's Pearl River?
Pearl River.
Pearl River. So that's, Louisiana. Picayune. The thing with Picayune is it's Mississippi. So I have to do like all new, like permitting and all that stuff. But not a big deal. Just what Pearl River, that's still St. Tammany. So I'm.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah. It's really not like that rec center is not too deep into it. It's like from that intersection, that main intersection, it's like, I don't know, a mile or 2 down the road on the right. So
I did see that, that seafood spot they opened up. I think it used to be a chicken spot. And it's a
On the
seafood
left?
spot on the left. I think
Yeah.
it's for sale too.
Okay.
So that might be a good spot. I don't know. But
I'll
it's got like
drive-
that nice
drive
little grass lot next to it. I think it's part of the deal.
Mm.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I'm always looking. I mean, I want to. Yeah, you can. To me, you can't unless I'm just there working all the time at one shop. Like it's hard to make for me to like pay myself from one shop on $5 cups of coffee because like you say, oh, it's high profit. After you like pay your employees and pay your rent, and it's not really that high.
Not really. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the whole idea is like to open enough that I can actually support, myself and my family and stuff. So
Yeah.
So tell us more about that. So at the Robert location, how many cups of coffee do you need to sell a day? Like, what's your goal?
Ideally, I would need to sell 200 to 300. We usually hit about that. Some days are slower, some days are better, but yeah, we have like 100 to 150 customers a day at each shop.
Wow.
Yeah, we usually
So the
hit-
Robert one's comparable to the Front Street?
they're about the same now. Yeah, they kind of leveled out. Like originally, Robert was slammed. Front Street kind of pulled some of those, and it was slow at first, but they're kind of even now. They kind of match.
That's pretty cool. I mean, that you have two successful locations in one city. I mean, not a lot of people can say that.
Yeah,
Usually they're struggling just to have one.
yeah, they're doing pretty good. I kind of wish they were further apart. You know, hindsight.
Yeah, like if
But-
you had one on Military Road or somewhere in that area,
Yeah, on the other side of town.
on the
the
other
beach
side of town. Yeah,
But
yeah. There's
nah, it
nothing
is what it
better.
is. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's going good.
So what's your next step? Are you looking at expanding to Pearl River, Picayune?
Yeah, so next, in my mind, my unofficial to-do list is I need to get the truck making money instead of not just sitting behind the shop not doing anything.
That's smart.
As far as just like on a regular basis, we still do all the gigs and stuff, but if it's just sitting there, it's just sitting there like not doing anything. Like it's kind of in my mind, I'm like, okay, that's wasteful. Like
Yeah.
What about like I don't know how you feel about working in people like after 5, but like baseball practices, football practices for
yeah,
at these local sports.
Just what I was talking about.
Yeah,
I'm,
kinda.
I'm telling you that.
yeah. I know we've done a few tournaments like soccer and baseball, and those are usually pretty good. So we could probably hook up on some of those,
Mm-hmm.
do more of those. And then Covington, since it's just open on Sunday, so like I want to see if I can get it open maybe like Thursday, Friday, Saturday mornings or something, just to kind of see what the traffic is in Covington. I know they just opened 2 other like new shops over there pretty recently, and one's like right there, but like down the street. So that should be interesting. So yeah, I want to like maximize what I have, like, and then the drive-through, I want to get that running right at Front Street, and then yeah, I want to look at opening another one.
Do you think there could ever be a drive-through at the Robert location?
I think.
Really?
Yeah, because I was,
Yeah.
you have that T box next to you,
Yeah.
and there's a little,
The little
driveway, and then you could pull it back around. There's a window.
That's where I would
there,
put it.
you
Yeah.
could come back out.
I actually left that window open from the inside so that we could use it as a drive-through window if we had to. And I would eventually maybe like to try it. I know traffic's pretty tight at lunch with T LeBlancs and all that, so I don't. But that property line goes over to the dumpster, and then like that drive behind is kind of just shared.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you would have to enter where you said, do a U-turn.
Right. It'd be a little tight.
So it'd be tight, but I guess you could unofficially use that back entrance. It just couldn't be like the official drive-through entrance. But so if
Yeah.
you were in a truck or something, you could probably come in that back way. I think cars and stuff would be okay doing it right there, but I'm sure there's some like technical radius it's got to be for cars to turn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
no,
Google
no.
that, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I know if you did that, I think my wife would probably go 2 more times a week.
Good.
You know, she's always like, I want coffee, but I don't want to go in because I'm
See what my break even would be on just your life coming twice a week. How much I could spend on my
But-
drive-through.
She's not the only
No,
one.
I know. I know people would use it a lot more,
I think so. I think so.
especially with kids. That one I know, like it's hard to like get out with kids and.
Well, I know
just to get
sometimes
coffee,
Yeah, that's our
Right.
problem. Kids.
sometimes I drive all the way to Front Street because of that. I got the
Right.
kids, I just go through the drive-through.
even if you have to wait a little longer, it's like
Yeah.
to get the kids out.
Mhm.
Exactly.
No, I feel
Yeah.
that. And I thought about doing maybe like a curbside order there too or something. like where you order on the app and you park in a spot.
Yeah.
Just bring it out to you. So it's kind of the same as a drive-through, but yeah, definitely thought about it.
That's an interesting concept. I mean, surely you would have to make sure your employees are paying attention,
Yeah.
to that app or that feature.
Yeah, they have apps for all of that, I think.
Yeah.
They have one too that like it'll order the coffee for you, like based on how close you are. Like if you set your daily routine and then you drive and then it like links up with a coffee shop and
It's amazing.
you just drive up and there's your coffee.
Automation, man.
In an ideal world, that would be cool.
It's incredible.
So do you have any, you want to this is a moment where you can like kind of shout out if you have any promotional type stuff coming up, or if you're going to be somewhere with the truck, or if you want
to. We are looking at launching maybe I know we'll do like an Easter menu. We'll do thinking about doing like some St. Patrick's drinks, which I think is March 14th. So we may do that next week and the next. And then, we'll be at the Louisiana Food Truck Fest at the Harbor Center. I think that's 11 to 3 Saturday. And then that fair name meet's a good fair. It's worth the drive for Slidell. I mean, it's only like 45 minutes to an hour out there. And it's big. They got a ton of vendors, handmade goods, food trucks lined up. And that's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So you come see us out there. What else is coming up? I think that's about it. We'll do a summer menu too. We got that going. Looking at launching a few more food items. Some kolaches, I think.
So what food items usually do best? Which ones?
The breakfast sandwiches, which, I mean, I'll admit they're not like top of the line breakfast sandwiches, right? Like not something you would get if you go sit down at like Creole Bagel or something. But a lot of people like them because it's just like, and it's the same as what you would get in any other coffee shop. But you get your coffee and you want something to eat. It's a sausage biscuit. It's just plain sausage biscuit. You eat it. It's good. I would like to kind of like elevate those a little bit because I don't like being like baseline. I want to be like better.
So where do those come from?
We use a local company out of Metairie. They're called what are they called? Perone and Sons, I think is what they're called. The original muffalata, they say. But they have a local kitchen and they cook them in the kitchen, put them together for us, ship them twice a week.
That's awesome because I'm sure a lot of places just like get frozen stuff in and just throw it on.
Yeah,
something like that.
I mean, I thought about that would be the easy way. I guess I don't know. I don't like doing like the basic. Like if you can get it at the gas station, like I don't want to serve it at my elite coffee experience coffee shop.
Yeah, that's good. You have some standards.
That whole thing is truly supporting local.
Yeah, I try as much as I can.
Yeah. I'm glad to hear you say that because some of these people they push shop local, and then them themselves are not using anything
in the drive-through at Starbucks. That's the one that kills me, man.
Yeah.
I drive by and I'm like, ooh, I know you. No.
Yeah, caught you.
Gotcha.
No, I try as much as I can for sure. Yeah. Like if I'm going to eat pizza or something, I'm like, man, I can go to Pizza Platoon, or like, just random stuff you do every week that you're like, it's so easy just to like order Domino's, but then you think like support local, support a family.
Right.
Some of these companies that are here are like owned by local people, which I get that. But some of them are like Starbucks is not. Like it's owned by Starbucks Corporation in Seattle. So like the employees' money stays local, but the majority of that goes out,
Yeah, the statistic on that, it's like for a corporate franchise, it's like anywhere from 17 to like 33 cents on the dollar stays in the community.
Yeah.
When it's a local business, it's like 70 cents or higher.
Yeah. I would say ours is pretty high. I mean,
it's very important.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we do use bigger companies for a few things.
There's some things you can't
get
avoid.
local, yeah. But like our cups, we get printed. Like we get those printed at Hamco, which is in New Orleans. So I mean, I don't know where they get their cups from, but they print them for us. So that's local-ish, I guess, as much as I can.
So who do you use for accounting?
I use Tia with Taylor and Willis.
Yeah, Taylor and Willis. Yeah, I use them also.
Yeah, she's sweet. She's trying right now to figure out how to save me some money on, because right now each business is like its own LLC, right? Which in the beginning I thought was a good idea to like protect each one from the other one failing. But now I'm looking at maybe combining them all under one just to save on because each time you do one, you got to do all 5.
Yeah.
It's like state filing and taxes and payroll. And so it's all like way more than it should be.
Yeah, she was
way more than it should.
No, just get with the same thing. She was like, you might want to combine all these different things.
Yeah.
And it's a one.
Oh, yeah. I wanted to ask you, do you own that building or are y'all leasing out the bottom?
No, so I lease I think it's 1,800 square feet.
Man,
and then
that's probably one of the biggest coffee shops in Louisiana.
I know. Really, mine is like where the hallway starts to the shop part, and then like the storage room.
Yeah.
So the hallway is not mine really. The bathrooms aren't mine really.
And the little lobby area is not yours either.
In the front.
Yeah, in the front.
No, so I did put some decor up there. The building owners kind of put some up there too, and then like our deal was like, this is a shared bathroom space, but like we'll clean it. So like it's like my employees clean it every night. So it's kind of the shared deal there.
The trade off.
But and then the porch we have use of, which I don't think is technically mine. It's like the buildings.
Yeah.
But we did put tables out there. So yeah, I kind of get like some bonus square footage there with it being leased. But there's like I think it's 14 or 15 office spaces there. So you got like Wycart Realty, there's like financial companies, and I think there's a therapist upstairs. So like just rent whatever wants to rent.
Now, do y'all hold events at that coffee shop? Because it is kind of big.
We've done a few small ones, and it does have a conference room upstairs that's for lease too, which people don't really know about because I haven't marketed it. But we kind of share that. I think it's like $50 an hour. It's got 2 TVs and like a conference table.
It's
Which
not
isn't a
bad.
bad deal, yeah. And the people who rent office space there use it too.
Mm-hmm.
And there's like a calendar, they book it. And, as long as it's not booked and somebody calls and wants to use it, we can lease it out. The shop space I usually don't charge for. If people want to come do events or hold little gigs, like we had like some ornament paintings and some cookie decorating stuff like over Christmas. I don't charge for that. I usually get enough business from the people being there. It's fine. But we do that. We do it at Robert too. We'll block off like that little front room for people sometimes to have little meetings. Or it's trying to be like an asset, I guess, to the community. It really doesn't cost me any extra. Like, really, I make more money from being there, right? So it's like,
right,
yeah,
exposure for you and getting some sales. Yeah.
I mean, that's not to mean one day we might not start charging for it, but right now we just let people use it. As long as I'm selling coffee, I'm happy.
Yeah.
Yeah. We talked about it earlier, but what's the odds of Sirincci getting the pink drink?
The pink drink. We can't call it the pink drink. I think we have to call it like not the pink drink or something.
That'd be hilarious.
The pinkish drink.
Yeah. I've thought about it. I've looked at some different recipes. We don't want to copy everything that the big guys do, but it is popular and it is good. So
it's very popular.
We might come out with something similar. Maybe the purple drink, it just tastes like the pink drink. I don't know.
It's not a bad idea.
70% odds. Is that odds? I don't know. Might happen.
I think you'd kill it. Personally.
You heard it here first. Pink drink coming. Not the pink drink.
Not
the pink drink coming. Yeah.
That's you can put that on your ad, man. Not the pink drink.
Not the pink drink. We promise. Trademark.
That's funny. Cool.
The light red drink. How's it? That doesn't really sound as good, does it?
I think the not the pink drink has a kind of a play on like, ooh, it's not, then what is it? Let me go check it out.
Yeah.
Makes me curious. Okay.
We tried to do that when we introduced large drinks. We called them tinies. When we started doing 32 ounces.
Yeah.
They didn't really catch on. Big guys are called tiny. Yeah. I thought it'd be funny, but it didn't work out. So now we just call them largest.
And so a lot of people don't know that the difference between the medium or the regular and the large caffeine wise. Is that just what's the difference caffeine wise between a medium and a large?
So all of our regulars come with 2 shots, which is 120-ish milligrams. And then the largest come with 3. You get the extra 60. Each shot's about 60, 65.
Nice.
So would that be 180-ish on the large? Yeah.
I usually get the regular with an extra shot.
Yeah, I like doing that too because I like the coffee flavor more.
Yeah, me too.
My drink lately has just been drip coffee with 2 shots of espresso in it. Just black, straight up.
Wow, man, you're hardcore.
Yeah, today I did a cold brew. It was a little warmer outside, so I did a black cold brew with 2 shots. But I really like our espresso, so like adding it in and stuff. I like our cold brew too. It's the best.
It's very good. I mean, I'm a convert. I praise the Sirincci coffee.
Yeah, we used to do before we had the stores. We did cold brew deliveries. I don't know if you remember that. Like
No.
half gallon glass jugs of cold brew, and we would deliver them like every Thursday, like the milkman, and then we'd pick up like the old jugs.
That's
and put the
awesome.
new in.
Didn't know that.
People would subscribe like a monthly or weekly thing.
Well, what happened to that?
We still did it up until just a few weeks ago, really. We had a couple just like hanging on, and like it just really wasn't worth keeping it going. To,
Yeah,
like
With
do
just
two
a few,
deliveries, yeah. But at one time, it was quite a few. You know, it took me like half a day to run
That's not-
town delivering coffee.
I feel like that's not a bad idea having a subscription-based things are like the thing now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just now, like with the shops, it's like we have the half gallons there.
Mhm.
Like if you want to just come buy it whenever you want it. So
Yeah.
it's not as like appealing, I guess.
Gotcha.
How much is a half gallon of cold brew?
I think the black is around $20, and then if you get it flavored, it's like another $3 or $4.
Well, that's pretty good.
Yes, it's a little more than what you'd get at the grocery store, but you know it's fresh, no
Yeah,
preservatives.
exactly. You don't know what
Yeah.
you're getting at the grocery store.
Yeah,
Right.
It's going to be pumped full of chemicals.
we don't like. I don't think I've had any at the grocery I really like. Like I've tried them, like on vacations and stuff. I'll get one. And, yeah. Like what's the little squeeze one? It's like old or whatever.
Yeah, it's like this big, and you got to take the
Yeah,
lid off one side and squeeze it.
yeah. I've tried to like that one because everybody likes it, but I don't know.
No, so that one actually gives me stomach issues.
Really?
The vanilla one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's just like it seems like it's super acidic or something. I don't know.
yeah, something's off on that. Not the trash there.
Yeah, sorry.
Well,
My personal opinion, I don't like it.
I was going to ask you, so in being involved in coffee, does everything else taste like?
No, I still get good
Crap.
coffee places. No, for sure. Just depending on where, like I can almost guarantee if I'm gonna like it or not based on like who the roaster is. So like a lot of shops in the area use a lot of the same roasters, right? So like I know there's a few that I don't necessarily like the flavor of, so like I try to avoid those. I do. Anybody that carries Orleans coffee is usually pretty decent, as long as they're like preparing it right, you know, because that's like the whole other process. I like them. I like Mojo, French Truck. I like a lot of their coffees. Yeah. No, I still get good coffee. I got my buddy Noah in Mandeville, Covington area doing Cherry Bomb coffee. I like his coffee. He roasts his own, I think. So it's pretty good. Yeah, there's still good coffee other than mine, I think. I don't really care for Starbucks.
Yeah.
You know, PJ's is hit or miss. I like the iced coffee pretty good.
It seems like Starbucks had some kind of change over the last 5 years. Their quality just went down.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know what it was. They used different coffee, different machines.
Yeah, I know that they're fully automatic. I know. I think we mentioned that, but yeah, so they're not like prepping their shots and doing it like it's all internal.
Yeah, I remember,
It's all
really
push of a
expensive. Yeah, coffee machine.
yeah, I remember when I used to work at Joe Muggs, you'd have the thing that would grind it.
Yeah,
You'd put it in the little holder thing. You'd
portafilter.
stamp it down, put it in the thing, lock it, turn it on,
Yeah.
drifts out the espresso.
That's how we do
I don't think they do that.
No, they don't. They don't. It's all internal. I think
It's like coming out of I see them just pouring stuff out of pitchers and stuff.
yeah,
I'm like,
yeah, yeah. I know. Like the frap roast is just like a liquid base coffee. It tastes terrible by itself, but like with sugar, it's really good. I guess.
anything with sugar.
Anything with sugar. Yeah.
Yeah, we still do everything pretty much the old school way.
Cool.
What about your syrups? So your syrups, are those you were talking about like having exclusive rights to certain products earlier.
Yeah, syrups are not one.
Syrups are not
Yeah.
one.
Now, like as far as doing certain like our king cake, it's made up of probably like 4 different syrups and like a few other like ingredients that are off the shelf.
Mhm.
Like you can set yourself apart like that, like mixing stuff together. But like pretty much all coffee shops use the same unless they home make them.
It's like
Which
the mixology of
yeah,
coffee.
I guess. But some shops make their own. We just like it's such high volume to really save money. Like if we could make our own vanilla, like we would save a ton of money. But like you have to make so much, you know.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I've thought about it. I've toyed with it, but I don't know if it's worth it. It's worth it. I have to make gallons of vanilla every day. If I could do that.
Yeah, no, that's a lot of work.
Yeah. Yeah. You're doing a lot of coffee every day. So that's a lot.
Get my own cows too. Do it some,
That might not be cost
some
effective.
oat fields, almond trees. Just go all the way.
Awesome. So thanks for having us. Well,
Yeah, thanks for coming.
yeah. Thanks for coming over and talking with us. It's cool to get some insight on your business and how it started and
Yeah.
where you're going.
No, this was fun. Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Appreciate y'all having me out. Yeah. Business and banter.
Yeah,
We did a lot more banter before the camera started. So.
we did. But you got some insight to like, what we're going to be asking. So
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Appreciate you guys.
yeah,
For sure.
thanks for coming.
Thanks, man.